Hey, what's up everybody? It's Victor over here at the Fish Room. Welcome back to another Tankful Thursday. Hope you guys had a good week. This week we're going to go over algae. I'm having a lot of algae problems in my tank, in a few of my tanks, and I'm sure some of you guys at home are having some problems of yourself. So I'm going to go over some different kinds of algae, what I do to get rid of it, and we'll go from there. So stay tuned.
Algae, so much algae everywhere. I can't get rid of it. There's so many different kinds. You have like this green stuff, this green hairy stuff. You got this like stuff that grows in the grass, Cyanobacteria. You got it's too much algae.
I always think it's better to go for the source of the algae, because if you go for options like getting snails or getting a sucker fish to solve it, then whatever's causing the algae is still going to be producing the algae. So you're just going to still have the same algae output. You're just going to have something cleaning the part of your tank. So I always find it best, go to the source. You're either looking at your lights, you're either looking at too many minerals, or different, you got to experiment. There's a lot of different kind of algae that happens in different scenarios. So depending on what you have, because I don't have all of them in my fish room at the moment, so I can't show you guys all the different kinds of algae.
The first type of algae is green hair algae. It grows really fast under light conditions with a lot of nutrients. In this tank, it's kept under control by the fish and the fact that the light isn't so bright. I personally like to keep this algae because it's beneficial as long as it doesn't get too long. Then it just starts spreading everywhere. But here it's under control and it's manageable. You can actually get rid of this algae by reducing your light exposure, your light intensity, and also by reducing the amount of nutrients that you're putting into the tank. The next kind of algae is Blackbeard algae. It grows really short, only to about like 1 to 2 centimeters. It grows in highlight situations. It's really hard to get rid of. If you have it on the leaf, you usually have to pull the leaf off. But reducing nutrients and lighting will help with it. But as you can see, it doesn't grow very long. The Cyanobacteria is on top of it, but all the strandy, hairy stuff is the Blackbeard. Next up is green and brown algae. This is probably the most common algae you're going to find in your aquarium. You get it all over your glass. This green one is really hard to get off. You're probably going to need a razor blade because the brush is usually not good enough. But the brown stuff is a lot easier. You can just usually scrape that off with one of those magnet brushes or a little scrape brush. And it's the same thing with all the other stuff. Too much light, too much nutrients. I really only remove it off of my viewing panel because it's very beneficial for the water.
Unless you are really picky about how it looks, I like to leave it. It cleans your tank, it cleans your water. It's naturally taking out nitrates and it's cleaning your water. I think it's beneficial. Like the one on the rock in my 75-gallon Iwagumi with the rainbows, I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep a lot of the algae that's growing in the back of this tank and on the log, except for the Cyanobacteria, because it's helping my tank. So unless it's covering the glass and you can't see the fish for some reason, I like to leave algae in my tank, or like Cyanobacteria. That stuff's got to go.
The next culprit is blue-green algae or Cyanobacteria. It's not really an algae, it's just bacteria. It grows usually because of poor water quality, and I'm trying to take care of it by doing a lot of water changes. You have to manually remove it. There's no fish that's going to eat this stuff. It's actually kind of poisonous to them. It's ugly. It covers everything. It usually grows deep down in the substrate, in between the glass and the substrate. But once it starts creeping on the ground, it'll get all over the plants. This stuff is horrifying. So watch out. If you ever get this stuff, get rid of it. But if you set everything up right, you don't have to worry about algae. I have this little bowl over here sitting by the window. It's getting natural sunlight, so I don't have any light on it. I don't dose it with anything. I barely even take any of the poop out of the gravel. The poop is going down. It's supplementing the plants. The plants are keeping the water clean, and it's not getting too much light. And this tank is just perfect how it is. And if you have a balanced tank, you don't really have to worry about algae. Maybe cleaning a little bit off the glass, but that's usually it. But for those of you who do kind of want a little critter to help out, I think shrimp do a great job of cleaning up, and nerite snails. They are excellent. They don't do too much bioload because they don't poop too much, and they clean a lot. They eat a lot of algae.
Alright guys, I hope you found that informative. If you have any questions, just drop it in the comments. Also, if you have your own way that you think works better than what I'm doing, please let me know. There's a lot of different ways you can deal with algae. This is just how I would deal with algae. So if you have a way that you think is better than what I'm doing to deal with it, drop it in the comments. Alright guys, I'll see you next week. I'm excited this Saturday. Brazil versus Germany, we get redemption. We'll see about that, hopefully. I'm hoping. Brazil, ciao.